I told my father-in-law why his grandson pretends to be sick every time he's invited to sleep over. See, my father-in-law Frank has always been the type to believe kids these days are too soft, and he made it his mission to toughen Owen up. When my son was 6, we dropped him off at Frank's house for his first overnight stay. Owen was so excited, couldn't stop talking about staying up late with Grandpa. We picked him up the next morning and found him sitting on the porch steps at 7 a.m., already dressed, backpack in his lap. Frank said Owen had been out there since 6, waiting. Said he couldn't handle a little teasing about being scared of the dark. Turns out Frank had spent the night mocking him. Owen had asked for a nightlight, and Frank told him nightlights were for babies, that real boys weren't afraid of anything. When Owen couldn't fall asleep, Frank stood in the doorway and told him he was being ridiculous, that he was embarrassing himself. Owen eventually cried himself to sleep at midnight. That's why he was dressed and waiting at dawn. I tried talking to Frank about it, but he just waved me off and said, "Kids need to learn, you're babying him." That's when I started noticing the pattern. Owen forgot to say sir when answering a question, and Frank made him stand in the corner for 10 minutes. Owen asked for help opening a jar at dinner, and Frank told everyone at the table that Owen was weak, that boys his age should be stronger. Owen spilled juice on Frank's carpet, and Frank made him scrub it with a toothbrush for half an hour. Owen brought home all A's and 1 B, and Frank focused only on the B, said it proved Owen wasn't trying hard enough. By the time Owen turned 7, he stopped running to hug Frank when we visited. He'd hang back, stay close to me, give these quick, stiff hugs when Frank demanded them. He started getting stomach aches every Sunday before family dinners, and Frank noticed. He'd make comments like, "Why doesn't Owen want to spend time with his grandfather anymore?" But he never once connected it to his own behavior. 3 weeks ago, Frank called and invited Owen for another overnight. Owen overheard me on the phone, and I watched his face just crumble. The second I hung up, he started begging me, "Please don't make me go. Please, Mom, I'll do anything. I don't want to sleep there." When I asked why, he said, "Because I always do something wrong and Grandpa gets mad, and I don't know how to make him not mad." I told Frank that Owen couldn't make it, made up an excuse about a school project. Frank got defensive, said I was keeping his grandson from him, that I was turning him soft. The next Sunday at dinner, Frank cornered Owen in the kitchen. I walked in to find him towering over my kid, demanding to know why Owen didn't want to visit anymore, asking what kind of grandson rejects his own grandfather. Owen was pressed against the counter, shoulders up by his ears, couldn't even look at him. That's when I saw it, the way Owen's whole body locked up, the way his hands started shaking. That's when I'd had enough. I told Neil to take Owen to the car, and I turned to Frank. I brought up that first sleepover when Owen was 6, how he mocked a scared child instead of comforting him. How he made a 7-year-old scrub carpet with a toothbrush. How he spent 2 years criticizing every single thing Owen does, from his grades to his grip strength to how he asks for help. How Owen gets stomach aches before seeing him. How my son begged me not to make him sleep at his house. This is exactly why he pretends to be sick. I told him you've spent 2 years teaching him that nothing he does is good enough. He's not rejecting you. He's protecting himself from you. Frank's face went red and he said, "I'm trying to make him a man. You're raising him to be weak." Like that was supposed to justify it. I took Owen home. When I told him he never had to go to Frank's house again unless he wanted to, he started crying. Not sad crying, relief crying. Frank hasn't called since, but Neil says his dad sits in Owen's room at his house sometimes. The one with the dinosaur sheets, staring at the bed nobody sleeps in anymore.